Antarctica. The discoveries continue to come in. We have something special for you tonight. Into Thin Air has allowed us to share his discovery right here, and it's our pleasure to share it with you. Right now, we're looking at something triangular in shape. You see the sharp edge shadow right there cascading on the snow surface over there, but what's really amazing is Into Thin Air has actually done some really good research over there, looking over it with a fine-tooth comb and doing a lot of enhancements. And when he made this discovery and then enhanced it, as you're seeing it to the right, which resembles definitely geometric shapes, this thing is not natural indeed. What we're looking at is definitely something made by intelligence. But what's amazing is what Into Thin Air has discovered just 18 miles away is pretty mind-blowing. Now look at this. According to Into Thin Air, has never been seen before, and I gotta say I have not seen this geometric triangular shape formation hidden underneath the snow there. So I gotta say this is the first time. Good job over there, Into Thin Air, and we're going to be supplying the original link and the coordinates to this area. We're looking at this. Brent, I want to get your thoughts.
Yeah, excellent find right here, Into Thin Air. Appreciate your submissions, and we're going to be going over this. Actually, Into Thin Air captured this via Google, and we're looking at it right now under his kind of a mapping of the whole entire area, and he's going to give us size, coordinates, and everything that's involved in this recent discovery. What I like about it is you see this triangular shaped object protruding from the snow, and it doesn't look natural. It just seems seamless on the geometrics, and now we're going to get some distance here, and this is excellent.
Yeah, he's measuring it out. It's 136 feet. This thing is massive, and again, the vector shape is undeniable. Is it exactly? It's approximately the same length, give or take a few feet, because of the snow above whatever, possibly a massive triangular shaped craft. This is ironic because, again, just 18 miles away from this location, we just saw other geometric shaped craft or vehicles or stations. We're not exactly sure what this is, but it's out of place. It sticks out like a sore thumb, and definitely it resembles something triangular. I like what Into Thin Air just did. He actually did some contrast. We're actually seeing some really sharp angles on this, and it stands out. I'm digging it. You see the sheen from the right from the sun, and then the shadow to the left cascading onto the snow there. It is sharp edge. This is not natural. This is something incredible that we're looking at. Wow. Share this with your friends, everybody, because if you're seeing it now, you might not see it anywhere else, because I got a feeling Google might actually blur this image. They got this out, we're sharing it, the whole world's watching it now. They're gonna maybe scrub these images. Look at what we're looking at, the side-by-side comparison here, Brent.
Yeah, very cool. And you can just see both of these just within the same region of each other. Has a really good match to it. Again, the one on the left and that contrast look just kind of gave a lot of perspective to what we're looking at here. It almost looks like an arrow just protruding out of the snow, this huge massive structure. What is this, guys? Is this natural, or is this some sort of, or something else, something that's not of this world, or some old tech that's finally revealing itself after the snow melt? What's going on here?
Yeah, Into Thin Air is doing a lot of work, and he says he's going to be keeping us updated in regards to some of his discoveries. But I got to say, this is a good one, and I haven't seen it before, so I'm hoping you guys are enjoying this, that you're watching it on Third Phase of Moon. Again, we're going to be sharing the original link. And guys, I want to get your thoughts in the live premiere. What do you guys think this is? Ancient in origin, or something more modern? Again, with these other anomalous objects, or again, bunker systems. We don't know what's going on here, but we even have more information in regards to the underground maps that I want you guys to take a look at. So check this out. What would be the most efficient way of travel if we had the technology? Well, it's known as the Stargate. Does it exist only in the movie fantasy world, or is it in reality? Well, just recently I received an email that's unprecedented of what appears to be a star map that reveals strategic spots all across the planet in regards to possible travel through these stargates, wormholes, whatever you call it. Does it exist? Apparently this map was given to a friend of a friend 6 years ago, and just after we shared our video in regards to the underground tunnels underneath America, I received this document just a day ago. People are watching right now Third Phase Moon, and the information is coming in very fast, and our panel will be going over some of the evidence that we're going to be presenting tonight, including some incredible imagery of what just came in moments ago in regards to more stargates spotted next to the infamous base known as Area 51. The Google imagery reveals what looks to be some kind of stargate, archway, and some strange buildings. Could this be the power vessels that charge up the Stargate? If there were to be any Stargates that exist, you would think that it would be at Area 51. Is this the evidence that we're looking at right now? Will Google imagery remove these images? Right now, we're sharing it to the world, and it's unbelievable what we're looking at. Is the secret location and the technology behind Stargates revealed? We've heard and watched the famous movie Stargate. It came out in the 90s, and right now what we're looking at seems to be now science fact and not science fiction anymore. The Stargates may be real. Now we have revealed the map along with the Google Earth imagery. The technology behind the Stargate is still a mystery to us today, but maybe in the future will we be using Stargates to travel from one place to another in a blink of an eye.
There has been speculation that there's been stargates that has been created right here on Earth, but then there's speculation as well that they're actually found within our solar system. We actually have a Google image from Mars actually that resembles something that we found that looks exactly like the Stargate. Are these representations that was basically alien reverse engineered that is being used right here on our own planet? Because some of this evidence is kind of mind-blowing. We got this information yesterday, and you see this grid pattern going across the whole entire planet. It seems like they're sectioned and they cross exactly where they need to be to create kind of this like pattern, a grid of stargates. If that's the truth, what we're looking at is fascinating. Looking at this Google imagery right there at Groom Lake, so close to it, the facility, this hidden base that supposedly has just been revealed just about 4 years ago. First time President Obama actually named Area 51 is the first time ever. Now we're looking at these kind of architectural designs of a possible Stargate. What I'm looking at are these kind of domes, and they kind of look to me like small nuclear power plants. Could this be the engine that powers these high energy portals or wormholes? That's what it's going to take. It's going to take extreme power, and this might be what we're looking at right here.
Looking at this Google Earth image is quite compelling. The objects that are around look like balls. First thought would be a radar system, which they have things similar that look similar to that around the world for pilots. It helps them with GPS locations. And the fact that there's multiples lined up side by side kind of scratches that theory in my mind. The fact that they're all together makes me wonder if possibly it might be a power plant for the larger structure at the end of the row, which I think is like 15 feet across, I think 5 meters across. So it's a decent size. You could walk through it. And what if these towers are actually generators to power this possible Stargate? Now, if we look back, the last episode we did, we had this one map with very strategic lines. It was done by either an architect or a draftsman, and it showed all the locations of these different underground bases. And one at the top was Groom Lake, and it was the only one with a symbol of a triangle in the circle. The rest did not. So it made me when I think triangles, I think stargates for some reason. It's just the way I think. But to see that, and then now we get this map showing, I think, 25 stargates around the world, and one of them's at Groom Lake. And then we have this Google Earth image. Pieces are falling into place. It's very, very interesting.
Okay, this is unbelievable. I can't believe in a matter of 3-4 days, we're getting maps that may have to deal with aliens and UFOs. First one was the underground tunnel system with possible alien research centers connected to them. This one, well, it's a little more exotic. It's Stargate at Area 51. This is unbelievable. This is really unbelievable what's happening here. We're talking about a way to transfer things from one place to another instantaneously. That's what a Stargate does. And that's what I think we're looking at. If you look at these Google Earth images, you're seeing what looks like Tesla coils. It's a rudimentary mock-up because the computer, the AI or whatever they have on Google Earth, if it's just a shadow that you're seeing, it tries to build what that shadow might be, and it's pretty accurate. And it came up with this Stargate and these, well, I call them joysticks, but it looks like Tesla coils and a gate or something that looks like you would think would be a doorway to wherever. Not only wherever you want to go. There's a map, the Stargate map, and it shows you places, it tells you things, and it's not that hard to see everything that way, but we don't understand what it means though. Like really, like how does it work? What do you have to do with this map? Is there another map that's do they have maps tell you where you land? Where you're going? It looks like it's basically an earthly map, but it does say Stargate, wormholes, things of that nature.
Wow! Just when I thought the last submission to Third Phase of Moon was something earth-shattering, here we have in front of us what appears to be a Stargate map. Now, personally I didn't know about this map's existence, although I've had my suspicions, but if it is true that some of these areas of condensed energy that we're calling vortexes, portals, or stargates, or the likes, are as tangible as something you can hold in your hand in the way of a map, well, the implications are long-reaching. Now, when I first looked at this map, my eyes are initially drawn to the key, which is on the top left, and the first symbol I see is a circle, which is hollowed out. Now, these represent the 12 stargates that are spread across our planet. And underneath that, we see a smaller circle, which is solid, and this is to represent Earth's 15 natural star crystal seals. I'm not sure exactly what star crystal seals are, but I believe it's something that, with a bit of research, I could probably find out. Another thing I'll say about this map is that it mentions places of entrance perhaps to the inner Earth. Is this inner Earth the same one that Admiral Byrd had reported, or is this something more in the way of military bases that aren't so far in again, the way that we would think of inner Earth, the way that we discuss? The next symbol that really draws my eye is a square which is filled in, and this indicates parallel Stargate access. Well, that's interesting because if we have that information, we should be able to find them.
Dreamland, Groom Lake, Homey Airfield, multiple names of what they call the now infamous Area 51, where it's been rumored that not only are top secret flights going on of craft like the stealth fighter and whatever craft they're working on now, but more importantly, it is the place that's been talked about for decades about holding extraterrestrial craft, possibly bodies and other technology that did not originate from this planet. Now here, this is even better than looking at a map. We are looking at images, 3D rendered images from Google Maps, which show us parts of Area 51 that we would have never seen from, say, the Soviet satellite, which picked up Area 51 and put it on Popular Mechanics on the cover decades ago. To actually see a possible Stargate in Area 51 does not surprise me. The question I'd like to know is it something that is naturally occurring there, which is possibly the entire reason the base was built around that area? Or is this something that we assembled based on taking the Stargate and the equipment from someplace else, such as Iraq? Either way, this ominous looking arch that you go in is really interesting to think that you might be going in, but you're not going to come out at the same location at Area 51 in Nevada. You could potentially go through and end up at another time or another location on the planet Earth or even another planet. Obviously, I'd like to speak to anyone, as would anyone out there, anyone who had been through one of these Stargates. But the mysteries of Area 51, getting one more clue to crack this puzzle, seems to be falling in line as long as Third Phase of Moon viewers keep submitting information such as this.
Yeah, it was late last night. We received an email from Yabba Dabba Doo, and we're kind of like looking at some of his information he was sending in, and then this caught our eye right here. It's mind-blowing. We do see the artist representation that Google is trying to kind of create its own pattern. It kind of creates these little generic CGI imagery, but then again, we're looking at this and it has architecture. You can see the angles of whatever this doorway is. I think Google might be interpreting something that's really there on the ground.
I have to say we are getting a lot of great stuff being sent into Third Phase of Moon, and we just got those documents and maps the other day, and now we have more coming in. As we see from this one map that has all of these ley lines, it shows all the different locations around the world where there are supposedly stargates. And it looks like Australia happens to be one country doesn't seem to have one. I mean, there is one offshore, but not on Australia. But everybody else seems to be getting one or two in some cases, as we see. I think here in London there's two, or Britain, that area. But it's a complicated map looking at it. These lines that go in a cross pattern across the globe or really make it hard to analyze very well. It's distracting, but they have a meaning to them, as it's shown in the key on the map. But it's very intriguing. We've been told that there have been stargates for a long time, so we will have to see.
The last symbol I'll mention is the triangle, which is hollow, and this is to represent Earth's 7 unnatural intruder Jehovian seals. Again, I don't know what the seals are exactly, but the words unnatural intruder catch my attention very quickly. Is it possible that these are areas that we've witnessed things coming in of alien origin, or at least they're not supposed to be here in one way, shape, or form? It's possible. Either way, this map is incredible and deserves much more analysis and time to be poured into it to understand the implications behind it.
So I would imagine you can go to other universes, galaxies at least. I mean, this is amazing. I never thought I would see something like this. I almost think it's too good to be true, because it really seems like it is. But why would the Google Earth image be up there since August 23rd of 2015? You know, how come I haven't seen it? And I'm a researcher. I look for this stuff. How come nobody brought it to your attention or Third Phase of Moon's attention until now? Same with those maps, even though those were out there, one or two, but this is a Stargate map. The implications are literally out of this world. It shows on the map there's ley lines, Easter Island, inner Earth horizontal, inner Earth vertical. It's got Machu Picchu on there. Did I say Easter Island? China, North America. There's one thing that really scares me though on there. And what was it? It was Earth 7 unnatural intruder, I believe. Holy mackerel. Okay, it's unnatural. That's alien to me. That sounds like aliens. And is it off-world? Maybe. Or maybe they live in Earth, because that even looks like a possibility, especially with the tunnel system that we just saw the other day. I can't tell you the implications here. We've got a 180-day deadline up on the table. People are seeing more UFOs than ever. It was the strangest year last year. You know why? A stargate map, and an actual, it looks like the machine that could take you from, well, wherever you want to go. Bermuda Triangle, right? Giza Strip. I mean, all these places are on the map.
This is really a mind-blowing find. Lots of people have been talking about stargates, natural stargates that exist here all across the planet Earth that allow us to go in from one gate and either end up on another portion of this planet or altogether in another dimension or another timeline or even another galaxy, planet, etc. Now, the great thing about this map is not only does it show where the 12 stargates are naturally occurring stargates, along with the 15 Earth's natural star crystal seals, also ley lines, and I also love the fact that it talks about wormholes. And this is, if everyone already sees, it's a global map. If you focus on the Middle East, you will see there's lots of activity there, which actually falls in line with what historians tell us that pretty much basically all of the modern day religions started from the Middle East. These days, a lot of people can argue that what people thought was a religious holy experience, a supernatural experience, may very well could be explained by an extraterrestrial experience. Also, let me throw one more thing in the loop. A lot of people may recall that during the Operation Iraqi Freedom, that the whole reason that we went into Iraq after 2003 was so we can go and access a Stargate that was right there in Iraq, and also take things that we have, like archaeology, that have to do with the Stargate, for instance, crystal seals and whatever else was left behind by the so-called gods of the past, and bring it here to the United States for whatever purpose. Nonetheless, falling in line with what the maps of the other day of the underground bases in the United States and, of course, throughout the world, I think this map, in conjunction with the other map, really shows us a lot more of what we've been talking about and thinking about. Let me also throw one final thing into the mix. Places like Skinwalker Ranch, Stardust Ranch, another ranch of the type in England, etc., they all talk about these portals that open up and craft going in and out, beings going in and out. Well, essentially what they're describing is a Stargate or a wormhole. So I wouldn't be surprised if other naturally occurring Stargates fall into those territories.
In these pictures, there were 4 of them. You could see what seems to be 4 nodes that are sitting in the Earth. Maybe these are antennae, maybe these are some sort of energy generators. We can't really tell. But right in line with that, we also see this arching construction, which reminds me of the movie Stargate. So could this be a physical Stargate that has been found on Google Earth? Or is it something else? You know, I don't know if they actually need a physical construct to create some of these if they're not using them naturally. I believe that there have been many projects in which they have attempted to garner the power needed to do something like this to some success. And, you know, it's interesting to see that there might be a physical component that's necessary in order to understand these sort of energetic fields.
It just means that, oh man, I can't believe I'm going to say it. Maybe we are getting closer to disclosure, and the people that are offering up this evidence aren't just regular citizens. Maybe they're involved somehow, and they hide right amongst us, and we would never know it. That's how the cover-up's been the whole time. Anyway, people have been coming out of the woodwork. Well, welcome to 2021 in January. This is just January. I can't wait to see what tomorrow brings, let alone February. Great stuff, man.
The images that we've received and we just showed to the world today are astounding. The implications behind the technology of Stargates seems to be real and getting closer and closer to reality. I want to thank everybody on the panel for joining us tonight. This has been a crazy discussion of the new evidence just in, and we even have more evidence coming in tomorrow. In regards to the subterrane, I received documents apparently coming in from Los Alamos. Buckle up for that, everybody, and keep your eyes on the skies. Be safe out there. We'll see you next time.